Good morning, Emma. How are
Morning.
you? This is Emma from Ilfracombe in North Devon. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? For example, how old were you when you had your stroke, and a little bit about what happened?
I was 27 when I had my stroke, and I had the stroke in 2009, and I had brain surgery to get rid of my major epilepsy that I had since I was 3. And 5 days after the surgery, I ended up having I was in the hospital, and I felt the right hand side of me go numb while I was standing up near the window, and I ended up having a full-blown stroke. I managed to get to the bed and press the emergency button just in time. But after that, I was just gone. I was totally out of it, and I had a full-blown stroke, major stroke.
Oh wow, I bet you're absolutely terrified at the time. Did you stay in hospital for long after your stroke?
I stayed in hospital for about, it was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be 3 weeks, but it ended up as 3 months.
Oh wow, all in
Yeah.
the same hospital?
I went in the rehabilitation unit eventually after I was on the stroke ward. So I was in the rehabilitation unit at the same hospital in London, neurology and neurosurgery hospital.
Oh wow! And is that was that really difficult because you were so far away from home?
Well, my mum had to sleep in a camper van. She took me to the hospital in the camper van, so she was staying in campsites and yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I don't think people really understand what commitment you have to make at times like that. But that must have been a great comfort to you that your mum was close by.
Yeah. My sister and my niece and nephew, they came to see me as well in hospital, and they live in Leicestershire.
Oh, lovely. That's
Little,
yeah.
yeah.
During lockdown, what's life been like for you at home?
It's been worse than, well, my anxiety's got worse, and my mini epileptic fits have got worse, and it's been a bit stressful because I'm used to going out and going to play pool and playing pool and that, but I'm not used to having to stay in, and I've had to keep myself occupied and trying to find things to do.
Have you been out at all, or have you been self-shielding?
I've been self-isolating because I'm one of the vulnerable ones. My doctor phoned me and said that I've got to stay in, so I stayed in 2 weeks before the lockdown. So it's been, I think it's been 12 or 13 weeks now, something like that.
Right, and that's a long time, isn't it, when you're used to your independence?
Yeah, so I haven't been able to see my mum and dad or any of my family.
Right. How would you normally get about?
I'd usually go out via my mobility scooter, and I usually go up to my mum's. Well, she asks me to do some shopping for her, and while I'm getting some shopping myself, and so I get stuff for her. So I'm like going here and there and everywhere on the scooter, but from that, it's going the complete opposite and having to change my daily routine,
Yes, yeah.
which is a bit frustrating.
What you said earlier, that you're finding lots of things or some things to help keep yourself occupied while you're in isolation. What
Yeah,
kind of things have you been doing?
I've on Facebook there was a advert advertising some online keyboard lessons, keyboard and piano lessons,
Okay.
and guitar lessons as well. And also there was that's what I've started to do, have keyboard lessons, and I've also joined a group that are doing karaoke's on Friday and also doing singing lessons on a Wednesday, I think it is.
All right. And how does that work over, is it a Zoom call? Or?
Yeah, via Zoom.
Oh, wow. And do you think it's something that you'll carry on after lockdown?
Yeah, because my aim in life, because I can't work, my aim in life is either I've had an audition for The Voice, had an audition in Ilfracombe, and an further audition in Birmingham because I got a phone call asking me if I wanted, if well, saying that I got through and that they wanted me to do a further audition in Birmingham. So my aim in life is either to be a model or to be a singer.
All right. Oh, great. Okay. So this lockdown is giving you an opportunity to improve your singing skills.
Yeah.
I guess even though it is online. So is that something that you think you would have done if you'd have been able to get out into the community, or has being locked down made you look for more ways to keep you occupied?
Well, I probably would have been bored stiff if I hadn't have found things on Facebook, because there's hardly anything. Plus, I can't sell stuff when I'm in lockdown because people can't pick them up.
Right. Is that something that you do regularly?
Well, I've got to do that because I've moved into a smaller flat, haven't I? And I've got like piles of boxes, so I've got to get rid of them.
You're decluttering.
Yeah.
Oh.
Even though I'm not a hoarder, it's just I've moved into a small flat, which I had no choice. I didn't even get to view it at the time because I had surgery on my foot.
Right. Yeah, it is amazing how much stuff we accumulate over the years, isn't it? And keep just in case. I've got.
Yeah, my mum and dad are hoarders, but not me.
No, are you good?
I've got rid of all my clothes.
You just talked about your mum and dad. How are you keeping in touch with family and loved ones?
Via Messenger, video calling on Messenger.
And is your mum comfortable using things like that? It's just.
Well, it's my dad who uses Messenger. It's his laptop, and she pinches it when she gets the chance to look at emails and that.
Yeah.
But Messenger, like computer stuff, mum ain't good at. Nor dad. I have to teach him. I have to write down how to do stuff. He goes and loses the piece of paper.
Right. Maybe he's like me. He needs to be told 50 times how to do something before it goes in. I do need to repeat myself a lot, but yeah, I can empathise with him with that. When you're just a few moments ago, you said that you'd had some surgery on your foot. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I had foot drop due to the stroke, and I had to wear a support, this foot support for ages. It's a solid foot support, and they were trying to get my foot to bend 8, like to be able to bend, to stay trying to your foot to go up like that.
Yeah, to flex your foot up.
Yeah.
It's quite
So I had a flexible one. I had a solid one.
Right.
That's the one that I had to wear for ages. And you can imagine my foot trying to go on its side in a solid support.
Right. Is that very uncomfortable?
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. And I spoke to the is it orthotist? He did as much as he could, and then I decided. Well, I asked the surgeon who did my mum's knees if it was possible for him to do my foot. So he did 7 operations in one. I had done to my foot. He was moving swapped tendons over in the leg and in the ankle, the foot, swapped tendons.
Wow.
Just to level the strength out and that. And he put a screw for my big toe and 2 screws in the back of my foot and something to tie it together.
Right. I think I have read your survivor's story on the Different Strokes website. So if anybody's interested, have a look at Emma's stories. There's x-rays of her operations, which are quite, not for the faint-hearted. So she's a strong woman there, getting through that. How has lockdown affected the physiotherapy that you should be having after your operation?
Yeah, I haven't been able to go to the till and go to physio since lockdown, but recently I mentioned to the physio that I was concerned about my foot because it was sort of like it kept trying to go on my ankle, and I mentioned to the physio if she could do it via Zoom or any program that has a video call. So she video called me the other day, and I had it on the laptop, so I was like bending the laptop down towards the floor.
Yes.
She got me to do my exercise, didn't she? So yeah, so she said that she noticed that my foot was trying to go on its ankle, on its side, and so she's gonna send. Oh, she said something. I can't remember what she said, but she's told me to keep a log of what exercises I do during the day, just so that she knows where I'm up to and that.
Oh, that's good. And hopefully she'll review you via video call again. It's so much easier, isn't it, if they can actually see what you're doing?
Yeah.
Rather than you just trying to describe it over the phone. Yeah, I think we're all getting used to this new way of communicating with people, and I think that's great. I think if more of us have access to that kind of technology, it's got to help, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit earlier in our conversation as well, you mentioned that you had increase in your anxiety because of being at home, and maybe do you think that is what's causing you to have more epileptic episodes, or what?
Yeah, I reckon because I'm not getting much sleep either, and because I'm getting stressed out because I'm having problems with talk, and because of the situation that I'm not being able to go out, and it's like it's frustrating and it sets off my fits because I'm getting stressed out and anxious as well, and my mind's overthinking things and thinking about my family and about thinking if something bad happens to my family.
Right. Have you had any help to help you through that problem?
Yeah, I've seen online a there's there's online help on a on it's like little courses that help you with anxiety and how to cope with anxiety. And
Oh, brilliant. That's good.
yeah, that started a bit joining.
So I think you did tell me previously that you were attending a group, so at least you've been able to carry on to some extent, even though it is only online. At least that part of your therapy hasn't stopped completely. Yeah, that's just good. Have you?
I'm starting to think that I've gone a bit OTT, and it's all I'm doing loads of things at once. Right. And not getting any like chill out time.
Right. Is that, do you think, because you're just in the house by yourself, overthinking, or?
No, I think it's because I've joined loads of groups, and I've kind of like gone OTT on planning things and that, and I'm not getting any spare time to chill out.
Right.
Like every day I'm doing stuff. And
yeah, I must admit, a colleague of mine did say that initially when we couldn't go into the office, it was, oh no, that's terrible. But now it's like, oh, do I have time to go into the office? Because she's planned her days so much. Maybe she needs to back off a little bit and take a little bit of doing nothing time. Maybe. I find it's very, very valuable to me to have a bit of a routine, but I think we all need some chill out time where you're just watching Netflix or talking to a friend or whatever, just to switch off. Yeah, that's good.
But when I chill out, I find that when I'm relaxing in the evening, I'm like, my mind overthinks, and that's when I'm having the fits in the evening when I'm chilling out.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I find of it. I don't know whether it's because my mind's overthinking things, or just I tend to. It tends to be in the evening when I have the fits.
Wow. That's a bit of a puzzle. Maybe something to discuss with your doctor next time you.
Yeah, that's what makes me think part of them are anxiety, panic attacks. Some of them are fixed, but
yeah. Well, I think probably well worth you mentioning to your doctor.
Yeah.
Next time you have a conversation with them. When you're in normal circumstances, what are the kind of things that you do to keep yourself occupied when you can go out?
When I can go out, I have like, well, I usually find I'm either going to my mum and dad's. I usually go up there sometimes and see them. And I usually go around the town, go shopping. And on a Sunday, I usually play pool, which I was right-handed when I had the stroke, but it happened on the right-hand side. I had to learn how to do things left-handed, so I'm ambidextrous now.
Oh wow.
I'm left-handed and right-handed.
Okay.
Because
When you,
I've
yeah.
in the rehabilitation unit, there was a pool table, so I got to practice playing pool.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah, I think it's well, it's something that is fun, isn't it? And it is exercise, isn't it? And you're having to control the cue to get the balls to do what you want them to do.
yeah, because I'm in the pool league. I'm in one of the pool teams, and I've been the top at averages, ladies averages, for 3 years.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well done.
So
Yeah.
I've got trophies as well.
Yeah. I have had to go in the past, and I think if I ever got the ball in the pocket, I think it was a fluke. The balls would never go in intentionally for me.
That's what I used to be like. I was in a team called Banana Bitches, and I was called Fluky Bitch.
Yeah, well, a bit of good luck, I'm sure, is part of it all. I think we're coming to the end of the chat, Emma. I was just wondering, what are you looking forward to the most once all the restrictions are lifted and we can get back to what the politicians keep saying is our new normal?
If there is going to be a new normal.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to moving on and going back, back to a normal life, into playing pool and associating with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got lots of friends who are just saying that physical contact, just to shake hands with somebody and give them a hug, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Forward to cuddling my family, seeing my family again. That's the most that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's very odd. I've been out a few times, not a lot, but people don't even want to make eye contact with you, as if they can catch COVID by looking at you. So it's some people are taking it to extremes, but
yeah, some people are doing the opposite.
Yeah.
That's why I'm frightened of even going out, because I went out and put the recycling out, and some bloke just like, I leant towards the wall, and some bloke just walked past me. He didn't even keep distance, and I thought, what an idiot.
Yeah, didn't respect you. Yeah, yeah.
No. That's the kind of people that annoy me. That's why I'm afraid to even go out.
Yeah, I understand that.
And because the Ilfracombe's a holiday place, and there's loads of ignorant holiday makers who come to Ilfracombe when we're not ready for people to come into Devon, it annoys me. Let's put it that way. I feel like getting like me and my friend feel like getting a knife and scratching their car.
Well, maybe you won't go down that route, Emma. I think we'll stop now if it's upsetting you. Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I've really enjoyed it. And I think you've just given us an insight into what it's like living on your own in lockdown when you've been forced to stay in. And
yeah,
I applaud you for all the things that you're filling your time with, even though you might be thinking that you've overfilled it at times. But I think you should applaud yourself that you've done such a good job. And I'll say goodbye for now. Take care.
And you.
Bye.
Bye.